Well, welcome everyone. Hey, this is Robin Nielsen, and this is our Get Inspired call. So every month we have a beautiful woman hop on with us and share how she is making some powerful changes to feeling so much better. And what that means is how she is becoming the CEO of her own health. And it's so important because, we always tend to give our power away when it comes to our health. We look to someone else to give us advice, to give us whatever magic pill it is that is going to help us to feel so much better quickly, I want to add. And in reality, all the knowing, all the healing is within us. It's right here. It's sort of like the Wizard of Oz and, Dorothy, right? When she goes to see the Wizard of Oz and, she clicks her shoes 3 times and she goes home. And that's, it's been with her the whole time or all along. And home has always been with her. And that's exactly what becoming the CEO of your own health is. It's really coming home to your body. And so I'm pretty excited to do these Get Inspired because oftentimes we feel that we're unique. And of course, you're unique. But that can hold us back. And by that, I mean, sometimes we think that our problems are so unique that they are not solvable. And that's just not true. That's a myth that I want to bust today. Your health concerns are solvable. You can heal, you can feel so much better. And that's why we have these Get Inspired calls, because you'll be able to resonate with the women on the call and then get inspired by what she does. So today I have a beautiful guest, and let me just change my view. Her name is Sylvia Rebecca. Welcome, Sylvia.
Hi, everybody.
Yay, it's so great to be here with you. So will you share where you're from?
I am from a city near Charleston, South Carolina.
Awesome. So Sylvia, we talked about surfing right before joining this call. I think she's all in for the summer.
I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, then there was the talk about the bathing suit. That might be for another conversation, but anyway, awesome. So grateful to have you here.
Thank
Yay.
you.
So we chose Sylvia because she was actually a participant in the Health Success Video Contest and really rocked it. Like, she is really doing some amazing stuff with her health, and we want to know how she's doing it. So we thought that we would just let her tell her story right here live, and then please ask questions. So you can post your questions right here on Facebook in the comment section, and we'll try to get to them before it's all over today. Or if you post later, if you're watching the replay, then we'll also get to them after, and Sylvia can help share what she's done. So Sylvia, why don't we start out with just, let's go back a little ways. And I'd love for you to share sort of when you first started noticing some of the symptoms, or when you first started noticing that things weren't just right for you, and what some of the symptoms you've experienced over the years that you really wanted to fix. So give us your story.
Okay, so it started when I was 13. I got my cycle for the first time, and it only came for a couple of days. And so, of course, that excitement of getting it for the first time. But then I noticed, and I was telling my mom that it wasn't coming on every month. She was like, well, maybe it didn't officially start. So I think it was about a year later, I got it again. And so we were like, okay, well, maybe this is it for real this time. And that kept happening, where I would go a whole year and just have a cycle once. So when I was 15, I had to go to the doctor, and he asked about my cycles. Were they regular? And we're like, no, I only get them maybe once a year. And he's like, well, that's not normal. We should put you on birth control. And I come from a Hispanic home, so that was a no. Like, it just symbolized other things. So we didn't go that option at that time. And so
Well, I just want to stop and say, lucky you. You know, the one time.
that
Yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah.
My mom just, she couldn't explain it to my dad, so let's just not go there.
Okay.
but so we went on just me not having cycles very often, and that continued until I got married. It just, I accepted it. It was what it was, and it was irregular, and I didn't think too much about it at that age. It was okay not to have it. Everyone complained about it anyways. I figured it might have something to do with me having a baby later down the road, but just didn't know what it would look like. Mm-hmm. So me and my husband have been together for a while before we got married, and we knew we wanted to have a lot of kids. And so knowing that I might have issues, we started as soon as we got married. And so we've been trying for 18 years. But I decided to go to the doctor a couple years after our marriage to see what's going on. What is it that's causing me not to have cycles? Back then, I don't know if they knew if PCOS was around or not. It was back in 2005. And they just said my hormone levels were off. There was things that were too high. There was things that were too low. And they recommended putting me on birth control pills as well. So I went on it at that time for about 6 months. And they said maybe when I go off, it would trigger and it would just keep going on its own. Like maybe my body just needed this start. So I did that, and it immediately stopped after I stopped the birth control. It didn't even continue a month after. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of left it alone, where we have a lot of faith in God. So we were just, you know what, it's going to be a miracle. We were college students, so we really couldn't afford to go to all of these doctors. So we just kind of left it alone. I moved to I was in Florida. Sorry. I was born and raised in Florida and moved to South Carolina in 2007. So we moved to South Carolina, and we decided, okay, we needed to go to the doctors. So I found an amazing doctor in our area, and she did testing for about 3 months. And she finally said, well, you have this condition called PCOS, but she used the long verbiage. And she goes, I kind of ruled it out at first because you didn't look like you have PCOS. You're not heavy. The only thing that I had was the cycles. Like everything else was good. And so she just didn't expect that. So then when she did all the tests and everything, that's when she realized that I had PCOS. She tried, and during this whole time, the only symptom I had was an irregular cycle. I didn't have acne. I didn't have thinning hair. I wasn't gaining tremendous amounts of weight. It was just, I couldn't get pregnant, and I wasn't having normal cycles. So she tried me on Clomid, and I would take it, go into the doctor, do blood work. I wasn't ovulating with the Clomid. Then they added metformin with that, and I still wasn't ovulating. And at that time, she was like, you'll need to go to a specialist. So we couldn't afford it at that time. So I just went and got a second opinion, went through the whole process again, and nothing was helping me to ovulate. So we kind of put it off to try to save up money to go to a fertility specialist. And then that's when other things started to happen. That's when the other symptom, which is the thinning of my hair, which freaked me out because I had full, beautiful hair, and then it just started thinning. And
where were you with that, Sylvia? Like, how old were you when that started happening?
I was in my mid-30s when that I was like about 34, 35 when my hair started thinning. So that was the second symptom. And those were the only two big symptoms. I started gaining weight. I think that had a lot to do with just being depressed and feeling hopeless. So I started gaining some weight, but I was able to get it off when I ate right and worked out. So the weight was never an issue. So I would say the whole time the symptoms was just the irregular cycles and then the thinning of my hair when I got in my mid-30s.
Okay.
So we finally were able to go do a fertility treatment. We did a cycle of IUI that didn't turn out too well. I overstimulated with my ovaries, and so they had to cancel the cycle. I had some other health conditions come along with that, so we were like, we can't risk it anymore. So we left that alone. And so I was just going through a state of just, there's nothing left to do. What can I do? And I was researching PCOS and all these different things. And then in I think 2007, I came across PCOS.com. And I'm like, why have I never seen this site before? And so I read all the information. I heard the success stories, and I just got such hope and like, okay, this is the next step. I just have to get control of what I'm doing and stop relying on the doctors to just fix me, because I'm a very quick fix person. I'm like, give me that pill, like you were saying earlier, let it fix me so that I can be normal. And that wasn't happening. And so it was, all the power was like, okay, Sylvia, what can you do for yourself? Because that's all that I had left to do. And so, and then I started the supplements. And that progress from 2007 to this year was very on and off. I have never been a very consistent person. And so one little thing that can knock me off, I would go off. So when I first got them in August of 2017, I took it for 6 weeks straight, and I got a cycle. I saw so many changes in my mood. I'm sorry, to go back, after all the doctors, I was starting to get very depressed, and my mind, and just going through a lot of stuff. And I was having a hard time getting out of it. I lost energy. I would come home and just lay on the couch. I was a person who always cooked dinner for my husband, and it got to the point where I couldn't even do that. So we started eating out a lot. Because I didn't have any energy. So it just felt like this wasn't a good route that I was going down. So when I started taking the vitamins, I saw such a change just in my attitude, my mind. I had such clarity, and I was finding purpose again. So, and then I went on vacation and fell off the system. And so it's been a back and forth for years. But I turned 39 last year, December, and I was like, okay, I got to do this and like be for real. There's no more up and downs. And then it got to the point where, yes, I want a baby, but another thing is I want to be healthy and I want to enjoy my life. Whether this baby is going to come or not, I still want to be healthy, and I have a long life still to live, and I need to be healthy, and I want to enjoy it with my husband. And so I started the supplements, and it's the first time I've been this consistent. It's been months that I've been on it. I have great energy. I do all the things that I used to do. My cycle took a while. It took about almost 4 months to start. It's still, I'm getting it every like 2 weeks, and maybe for like a day or two. So it's not fully coming on every month. But I know that that's only going to come with being consistent with it. And so now that I have this energy and my mind is clear, I've been working out, I've been eating better, I've lost 20 pounds. And yeah, and I'm enjoying life. And it's good to be back on this side, because I felt like I was on such a down slope that I couldn't see the other side. And I felt like I'm just going to be depressed and hopeless and just wanting something so bad that I can't have. And I'm like, this is going to be a horrible life to live if this is how I am. So just to have all of that hope and energy and excitement for life again is amazing. So that's kind of where I am right now.
Oh gosh, I'm just breathing into that journey. Been quite a journey for you, and it's not unlike many women. You know, we try so many different things to try to start our family, or lose weight, or whatever it is, regulate our cycle. We try so many different things, and it's hard. It makes life really hard. It makes us feel terrible. We talk about the fertility treatments like they're easy, because we've had this experience, and I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this, and each step is grueling. It's hard, and it's amazing to me that that relationships make it through sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you kind of glossed over quite a few things that really became issues for you. And I want to go back to those because you said really for a lot of years, it was just your menstrual cycle that wasn't regulated. And so that was kind of the focus for a lot of years. But then your hair started falling out in your mid-30s. And that was kind of devastating, not feeling good at all. You've always had really gorgeous hair. And then you started getting like really low energy. All of a sudden, your energy disappeared. You started putting on weight, right? You've been able to manage it just fine, but you've been able to manage it up to a point. So when your hair started falling out, is that when you started gaining weight and when your moods kind of went in the tank and your energy too? Did it all coincide, or how did that all happen?
I can't remember if it was, I think the thinning started before, and then it just started getting more intense. Like I would notice it a little bit, and then it got to the point where, because I would normally not have a part, and then I wasn't doing my part, and you could see the whole front part, you could see my scalp. So then I had to start doing the part. And then it got to the point where the part wasn't really even covering it as much as I wanted. So I had to move the part over. So I think when it started getting intense more, and then everything just kind of went downhill from there. But at the very beginning, it was okay. And and then it just got worse and went down from there.
That's interesting because next week we're having a training all about hair. So hair growth where we don't want it, and of course hair loss where we do want it. So and it's interesting because just to give you a little like snippet from what we're going to talk about next week, hair loss can be from a lot of different things, but it takes a lot of energy to grow hair. And so when you don't have the energy, your body's going to conserve it to do other processes that are more important to sustaining life. And so it kind of lets the hair go. And that goes right along with weight gain, because again, that's a lack of resources or kind of a broken metabolism, and also energy, right? So if we start packing on the weight, our energy starts to go as well because we're not able to get sugar into the cells to burn for fuel. So that's kind of how the whole thing morphed for you a little bit. I'm not sure about the transition from irregular menstrual cycles. Is there anything that you can think of in your life that that was pretty stressful for you? I could have been just trying to start a family, but is there anything else you can think of that was pretty stressful before your hair started falling out?
Well, I've always been, my mom said I got it from my dad. I've always been a nervous kid. I always had fear. The biggest thing was that the world was going to flood and we all were going to die. So, and in Florida, it rained a lot. So I just always had this nervous fear growing up. I do want to say I lost my mom in 2013. And after that, I think was really bad because I was dealing with the fact of not having a child for my mom to meet them, and them, if the child comes, not. So I had that, and then so I know after that it was definitely a down, but so it got worse after that took place, and so we bought a home, and my mom passed in the same month. So buying the home was the most stressful thing. Besides, losing my mom was very sad. But buying a home, I think, was the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. So that was going on at the same time. So like all of these things were going on in 2013 that were very stressful for me.
Yeah, I totally get it. Of course, losing your mom is so, so stressful. And then you were kind of pulled sideways by focusing on buying a home. And I remember 2014, we were selling our family home where we had raised our kids, had been there 23 years, and we were moving. And it was so busy, like the whole year. And just, I think the unconscious stress of leaving a place that, had been such a part of our lives. And I got a frozen shoulder. Like I get frozen shoulders when I get really stressed. And it kind of just comes on you, like you don't realize it during, when it's happening. But then you're like, oh, well, yeah, I haven't really acknowledged all of these emotions that are going on and all the things that are happening, and I haven't slowed down enough. And so you had a lot going on at one time, a lot.
Yeah.
And we tend to be less stress tolerant. We tend to have lower stress resilience. And so, you kind of were a worrier. And growing up in Florida, I could see how you would maybe, decide that the world was going to end in a flood. That or New Orleans, right?
One of those stories you heard in passing and you never got the complete ending of it. And so you just worried about it every single time it would rain and you saw floods.
Yeah. And that's a hormone thing too, is that, we worry obsessively, and so, yeah. And that, those events could definitely throw off thyroid function, which is so related to all the things that you're talking about too. So, it's really, really a lot of stuff that happened for you that could have, had these effects on your health. And so, so I think you said in 2017, you found Insulite Health.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is so common, but you talk about the nutrients. You're doing the other 4 elements, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Well, when I first started, I was taking the supplements and I was working out and eating better. And then I went on vacation and fell off. But I had this thing in my mind of if I wasn't doing all 4, then I shouldn't be taking them. So that was a lot of my yo-yo through that years, was because I was taking them and I felt like I was wasting my money because I'm like, I'm taking these supplements, but I'm not doing anything else. But that was just me not watching enough videos to really know that they are doing something. Even if I'm not doing the other 3, it's better than not taking them at all. So
yeah, well, this is not a commercial for the 5 element system, by the way. but I do want to say that I think it is really important that no matter what you do, like in this case, if you just took the nutrients that are part of the system, it's huge, right? Because you're right. We're already overwhelmed. We've got a lot going on. We're kind of wired to be overwhelmed. And then, we try to take on all these things at once. And then we kind of set ourselves up for failure. So whatever you decide to do, you just start with that one small thing. Yeah. And then you add in the next small thing and then the next small thing. And before you know it, like you've got a big thing and it's making a big impact. So you went from all these things to really like noticing such great energy. So you had said that, your energy was so bad that you would come home from work and you would just end up on the couch. You were just too tired to fix dinner anymore. And a lot of brain fog.
Yes. Yeah.
And how is the brain fog affecting you?
Now I have such clarity, but before it was just, I couldn't, like my thoughts were just running and I couldn't get control over them. And just being so tired and the worry, why am I feeling like this? Why is this going on? So that would just intensify. And then the anxiety would come and it was just a lot. But my energy, I mean, our house wasn't getting cleaned. Like I wasn't doing anything. And I'm so grateful of the husband that I have, because, that can cause even more issues and more problems that you don't need to have on you when you're going through it. So, as soon as I start taking them, like I started taking them in January and I've been taking them since, but I just noticed the energy and it's like it gave me the ability to do the other 3 steps. It gave me the ability to work out. It gave me the, like, I wanted to do things. Like before I was taking them, it was like I just didn't want to do anything, and I just wanted to lay down. I wanted to watch TV so that my mind will be shut off and focused on what's going on the TV. And that was it. Like work took all of my energy. So and on the weekends, I'm like, I didn't want to do anything because I was working. But I have noticed such a difference. And I mean, it's changed everything. Like I said, I have so much joy. I have so much energy. I want to cook. I want to work out. I want to take care of myself. And I felt like it helped me to get to this point. Like it helped me to have energy to do the things that I need to take care of my body.
Yeah, that's so great. I love that. And I know that you are doing element number 5 because I see you in our group. So I knew you were doing at least 2 elements, but I figured, with the new energy and, just the joy that you were doing some of the others too. And that's so great. And so have you been really consistent? Like, would you say consistency is really important?
Yeah, taking the supplements. I probably maybe now work out a little too much. Sometimes I'll work out twice a day. But I try to do, like I'll wake up in the morning and just go with my husband to the gym for 45 minutes and do like the treadmill or something. And then when we get home, he's a big exercise person. So he likes to play basketball in the afternoons. So I would go with him in the afternoons and just jump on the things that climb the stairs. I don't know what it's called, stair climber.
Stairmaster.
Yeah. So I think because I have the energy and I'm seeing the results, I may be pushing myself a little too much in the working, but I'm really enjoying it.
Okay.
And it just brings even more joy because I'm seeing results in my body with the losing weight. And so.
Okay, so you know the rule, right? You got to check your hunger, your energy, your cravings, your menstrual cycle. And if those are all good, then you can keep up that exercise routine. And, you want to do the interval, right? Because you want to make sure that you're not stressing your body and keeping that cortisol and insulin up. Tell me, do you have new, like, baby hairs growing?
So I'm seeing stuff, and I asked my hairdresser if she could tell, because I noticed some little spikes, and then I've noticed hair that's about this long that maybe on the sides that I didn't notice that I'm noticing now. So I'm seeing, I think, but it's hard to tell, but I am seeing little spikes. I'm like, is my hair breaking or is it growing? Like, I don't know which one it is, but I'm hoping that it's growing. It feels better. It feels like something's going on with my hair, if that makes any sense. So I'm hoping that it is, and I'll see it over a period of time.
And you aren't noticing clumps of hair falling out anymore?
No. No.
Yeah, we don't realize how much hair we have until, clumps start falling out, and it will, keep falling out and keep think, oh my gosh.
It's so, I'm like, I always get the mirror and look behind my head to see if there's like a bald spot or something, because it's scary when you see that amount of hair like come out every single time you wash or brush your hair, and it makes you not want to brush your hair because how quickly it was coming out. But I haven't noticed that. Just the normal, when you brush your hair and you have some hairs in your brush, but not like before.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, you've been doing some amazing work, some really nice changes. Your period is getting more regular slowly. Yes. And can you tell if you're ovulating?
I can't. I've been wanting to purchase. I've tried some strips, but I found out that those didn't work for us because it was like saying I was, and I was like, what's going on? But they weren't correct. But I don't know. I've tried doing the temperature, like the old fashioned, take your temperature every morning, but I haven't seen a jump or a up or a down on that. So I haven't seen it in that aspect yet, but I'm wanting to get one of the devices to just help a little bit more.
That would be so great. And then you're looking for sort of that egg white, mucusy discharge, around when you should be ovulating. And, we want to be able to feel down there and see what's going on and dig in. A lot of times, I know for me, I didn't even know what to do when my period started. Like nobody had told me, what I should do. So I am as ignorant as many, when it comes to my pelvic floor, but, much more in tune with that these days. And we just need to get really intimate with our pelvic floor and know exactly what's going on and hold a mirror down there and see what it looks like and get really comfortable and confident about it, because it's not like men, right, where you can see it. We can't see ours, we just see this little bush and the rest is a secret. So we need to get that mirror out and get really, comfortable and understand what's going on. So, and I know that you've done a lot of that work already just with your journey. So, what advice would you have around, you've done Clomid, and I know a lot of women in our group have tried that. And then you also did the IUI, is that right?
Yes, I did a cycle of IUI. I did Clomid by itself, and then I did Clomid and metformin together. I did a cycle of IUI, which did stimulate the cyst and created follicles. They jumped my medication too much, so it created too many follicles, and then so they had to stop the complete cycle because there was a risk of me having multiple babies, which would have been a high risk for me. So, and there's other complications that came with that, an eye condition, some stomach things. So my husband said he'd rather keep me around than risk, to try to have a baby. So that's just something that we're not willing to go into again. But those are the two main things that I've tried over this 18 years of trying to have a baby.
Right. So now the plan is to continue to get healthy. Yes. And release, ask for what you want, which you're doing, right? But then releasing the outcome.
Yes, exactly.
I love that. And focusing on joy and being healthy and taking really good care of yourself and living life to the fullest.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, well, we'd love to answer your questions. You can tell Sylvia's a wealth of information around a lot of this. And, there's nothing like asking someone who's in the trenches, what she's done and getting her feedback. So if there are any questions, just post them here and I'll check. Mika, do we have any questions? Let me see if I am not so talented with looking at Facebook here, but let me just pull it up and see. Well, I am not seeing. Oh, here it's loading now. So yeah, if you have any questions for Sylvia, would love to have her answer them for you. Oh, hold on, let me turn this down. Okay. Oh, here it's loading now. Shemaus. So if you have any questions for hold on. Shh. Shemaus said the baby is coming soon. Oh my gosh. Yay, Shemaus. Thank you for sharing that beautiful blessing. Oh, yeah, she shared some of her struggles and I think I ended up with 3 beautiful children. So be careful what you wish for. I think and you said you wanted a big family, so there you go. And I think one thing that's really important to share and for us to know and kind of be okay with is that a lot of times with PCOS or the excess androgen symptoms, we were just kind of wired to have a more irregular menstrual cycle and have fewer children. And the good news is that we usually stick around longer. We're stronger and we live longer, healthier lives, as long as we take care of ourselves well. So it's just a little bit different model, but it's an awesome model because we are stronger and we actually can participate in life a little bit more. So it's just, again, it's a little bit different model, but it's a good one. So, we oftentimes look at, having an irregular menstrual cycle as bad or wrong or something. And it's just, it's been noted over hundreds of years that some women are just that way. And then, the standard American diet or the SAD diet can make it worse and can stop ovulation and And it's interesting because most women do not ovulate every cycle. So that is not an unusual thing just for women with PCOS. It is actually, most women don't ovulate every single cycle. And most women, I think 25% of women, if you did just a random ultrasound, would have more cysts on their ovaries. So they're just follicles that haven't, gone away yet. So, we think that we're, super special, but, and of course we're super special. But, we're not all that unique. Is where I'm going with this. Well, gosh, Sylvia, thank you so much for being with us today. I would love for you to share before we sign off, for a woman who's experiencing some of the things that you've experienced and really struggling and not sure if there's a solution out there for her. What are your 3 top simple tips, just 3 really simple tips for how she can get started on her path to taking charge of her health and feeling so much better?
The first one I would say is if you haven't started the supplements, to try them. It helped me to take the next step. It just gave me that energy. So starting the supplements, I think, is big. And just take it day by day and enjoy the day that you're in. Don't look what's tomorrow or down the week or a year. Just enjoy the day that you're in and create special moments for yourself. And I think just pampering yourself and doing things for you, take care of you. You're the only one who can truly take care of yourself. The doctors can give you medicine, these supplements can be given to you, but you have to really take charge. So take pride in the body that you've been given. It's only one. We all weren't given perfect bodies. So we have to deal with the one we have, and just take care of it and smile as much as you can. Just smile at yourself and let the joy overtake you.
Oh, I love that.
That's 3. That might have been more.
No, I think you did it. 3 things, just perfect. Hey, you could take some lipstick and just write, "You are beautiful" on the mirror. Then when you go and look in the mirror, it's like, oh, you're right. Oh, it was so cute. One of my clients, she was, dealing with excess weight, and she came to my office and she was really bummed out. She says, we have this mirror that's in our bathroom, and, we keep meaning to hang it, but we just haven't hung it up yet. And she said, every time I walk in, it's focused right on my belly. And she says, so every morning when I get up to go to the bathroom, I'm immediately bummed out. And I said, well, what do you like about your body? Right? She said, oh, I really like my breasts. I said, well, that's good because you have beautiful breasts. So I said, why don't you hang the mirror so that it focuses on your breasts when you walk into the bathroom in the morning? So that was her homework. So when she came back the next day, or the next week, it was so cute. I said, so how's the bathroom thing going? And she said, oh, it's great. She said, now the mirror is up so that I can see my beautiful breasts when I walk in the bathroom. And she says, it's a great way to start the day. So that's a lesson, right? We just need to appreciate what we have, respect and love our bodies no matter what. We're the only ones who really care, and rightly so. And so again, Sylvia, thank you so much for being here with us and sharing your courageous journey. We're so grateful.
Thank you. I'm truly honored, and thank you guys so much. And hope you guys have a great evening.
Yeah, and keep it going.
Yes.
Keep the good going. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Great to be here with you, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you next week in the training, Hair and Hormones. All right. Bye for now. Mwah.